All right, I think we are streaming right now. I'm hoping. Okay. Boom, we are going live. Okay, perfect. I gotta find a way to lower this bar. It's not even the full screen right now. All right, perfect. Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning into Young Money Investments. This is Sunday, what is today? Sunday, June 24th, 2018, I think. Gosh, it has been a crazy day. Setup is getting slightly better as time goes on. Yeah, Rode microphone is on and popping and working, which is great. Everything that has been going on with this setup has been taking a while to get going. If you haven't noticed, it's hard, it's difficult. I have no friends that really know a whole lot of stuff about this, and so I've been picking the brains of different people, trying to figure out the cam link capture cards to the cameras to adapters to every little thing that goes on with these videos. It takes a whole lot more than you would think. I mean, from wireless mouses, keyboards, MacBook Pros, iPads, iPad Pros, microphones, all these things take a ton of effort. But I am going to get into today's Sunday stock pick here in a minute as I get everything kind of ready on the screen. I just wanted to roll into this really quickly so that I could get a few of you that are going to want to be live for this. Today I think is going to be probably one of my best stock pick Sundays that I have actually done to date. Not just because the camera quality is better, not because the microphone quality is better, although these things definitely do, I think, make a difference in terms of videos. You'll probably notice I have the little autofocus little box around my head right now. Don't know how to get that off, but hopefully by next week's video, those things will be taken care of. This camera does not have a clean HDMI out because it is not considered a professional camera. I thought spending $800 on a camera was going to be professional quality. Apparently, it's not in the DSLR world. I would be completely happy just shooting off of my iPhone here, but apparently those things are needed. But while I get a few more of you that are rolling in here, it looks like my stream health is medium quality right now. I have garbage Cox internet out here. I am not a fan whatsoever of their internet, but Verizon has been garbage as well out here. So I have gay LTE, I have horrible Cox internet. Yeah, my internet, everything sucks lately. But give me a second here as everybody kind of funnels into this, and I can get going here and get going on my picks for this week. So let me pull those up here on my iPad. Hopefully everybody's had a good week. My week has been crazy, a little stressful, but actually a ton of fun. This week's actually kind of flown by, and I've actually had a ton of fun. It's been a good week. But let's roll into this here. Okay. We are going to, and also if you want to leave your comments down in the comments section, please do so. If you want picks to be called out, please leave them down there. If you want me to go over certain options or different things for you, please don't hesitate. I will be more than happy to discuss a trade that you are wanting to go into today. So looks like I got my stream health going. Dude, this Logitech mouse combination thing is garbage as well. So just so you know, it's garbage. Okay, we got Allison. Actually, it's probably Nick. I'm assuming it's not Allison. But yeah, what's up? I will definitely make sure to go over Activision is what I believe ATVI is, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, this mouse is horrible. Okay, this is what I mean by having to spend some time learning technology here. So give me just a second, and I will be able to get everything rolling here. Just loading up my account and waiting for like a couple more people. I keep getting text messages and people wanting to roll in here, so I'm trying to appease everybody. Um, but give me just a second here. We should be ready to roll here this week. This week I'm going to go over a few more trades than I normally go over. Usually I'm only going to cover 2 or 3. With the way things are going right now in the market and the way we've had this nice little sell-off, I've seen a lot of potential for longer term swing trades as well as some potential long-term trades that I'm going to get into. I love those kind of swing trades simply for the fact that with those kind of trades, if something doesn't work out according to plan, I know that I have a long-term potential hold where I can keep it, hold it, and I'm not going to lose money on it because the financials make sense. So it's a different strategy than most swing traders will probably approach, but you know, that is life. That's kind of just the way it works. My TD Ameritrade decided to be retarded and is loading up right now. So it's installing updates. I don't know why on earth it's doing that, but David, you're saying you want to go over Micron. MU, I believe, is Micron. I believe that's the ticker symbol. I'd be more than happy to cover Micron as well. I know they just recently released earnings or some financials about it, which is actually kind of cool. So I have some good information on Micron for you. So I'm excited to potentially go over that for you. Perfect. TD Ameritrade is up, rolling, and we should be good here. So you know, sometimes I wish YouTube had this ability where you could talk like while you were on the live stream. It'd be good for like smaller live streams. Obviously, bigger live streams with more people wouldn't be possible, and I'd have to be able to mute and unmute certain people. But I think that'd be kind of a cool thing to do because sometimes I feel weird like talking to myself and having you all like just listen to me talk here. So everything is loading up. Why don't I minimize this down here? In just a second, I'm going to go to the charts. Everything is getting configured. I don't know why my MacBook is loading so slowly, but you know, sometimes you got to roll with the punches, right? That's just what you got to do. That's actually looking really good. Okay, boom. I think we got everything on and popping. Is that like big enough? Small enough? Hopefully it's small enough. Okay, we're just gonna do it that size today. If it works, great. If it doesn't, who cares? Okay, perfect. So today, first position, I'm not gonna go over my favorite position first because I wanna make you wait till the end of the video. So I'm not saying it's Caterpillar, but I'm also not saying it isn't either. But we're going to go over one of the plays from last week. We're going to kind of do a recap of some of the call outs and some of the positions that I'm currently in from last week. So first one that I am in from last week is going to be OLED or universal displays. As you can see in this chart pattern here, this is the 180-day chart. Blue line is your EMA, SMA is green, and then you can see some of the support and resistance and how it had been acting as support for a while. And now after the sell-off where the market has had issues with trade war rumors going on, you can see OLED has sold off quite a bit. So what we're going to do is zoom in on this. I am still in OLED, about $20,000. Looking at support here, I have seen this support before. I mean, it did have a massive little candle on this red day where it came down to $79. I am basically looking at a hold somewhere in this range. If it consolidates or if it does tend to drop off from here, I'm going to most likely end up selling out of my OLED position for a probably $1,000 loss. I think I'm down about $800 in it right now, so maybe it'll be a $1,200, $1,400 loss if I do end up selling out of OLED. I see long-term potential for a reversal on this. Just for the simple fact, I know this has a descending pattern here, which is not fun. You can see where the SMA is kind of acting as, EMA is acting as resistance. It's not wanting to break above that. But with a solid support for the past, I guess, what is this, 4 months, 3 months time frame here, I see it having the ability to hold and then bounce back up into that $100 price range, giving me a return of somewhere right around 14%. Like I said, I've traded OLED for so long. That's why I'm kind of bullish on this company and their long-term potential outlook here. So on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of rating, if I would get in on OLED right now, I do think it's a good position because of where it's trading at. It is at the bottom for the past year. It's at its 52-week low. And I do see, even if you don't write it up to $100, writing up to 95 from here, you're looking at a potential profit of about 10% or so. So even 10% on this trade is money, in my opinion. 10% on any one swing trade to me is going to be a great option. Second play we are going to go over today is going to be MELI, or Libre Mercado. MELI is basically the Amazon of South America. As you can see on the 180-day chart here, I'm looking at some of the fundamentals on this. One other thing that I forgot to go over on OLED, let me check this out really quick. OLED. Is you do look at the RSI indicator again. RSI is trading down here super low. We're at a 34 RSI currently where it's at. It's trended down here into the low 20s. RSI is a huge indicator that I use in terms of day trading and swing trading. So if you know me and you know my style, those are some of the things that I love to use. That's why I do, again, see OLED as a good buy right now. MELI, or Libre Mercado. You can see this very horizontal pattern that it's been having. If you look back at this 180-day chart, you can see where it has basically acted as resistance back here. And now this has turned into a nice support line right here at about 287. 290, I believe, is where it's actually trading at currently. So if we zoom in on this little pattern here, and you notice what it's done frequently, it's come up and come down and come up and come down. Again, Libre Mercado I see as a good long-term trade because of the fact that they have a lot of good financials in terms of what they are doing in South America. The peso and those kinds of things have been weakened in terms of their strength against the US dollar. That has hurt Libre Mercado a little bit. But again, if we're looking in terms of swing trading here and trading off of where it's at to where it has previously had highs within the past couple months, you're looking at, again, an 8.19% return on this. RSI indicator is not necessarily exactly where I would love to be. Where I would love to be in terms of RSI, trading right now at about a 45 RSI, I would love to be somewhere right down here at about a 40. Anywhere at that 40 is going to be buying down here at that 288 price point. But honestly, guys, if you're buying in right here compared to here, you're only looking at about a 1.5% potential for profit difference, while you're looking at a potential for gain of, like I said, about $8 up here. So your potential for loss, or where I would stop out on this trade if you're doing a swing trade, is to stop out down here at about 288. But your potential to ride this up would be a nice little ride up here into, I would say, somewhere right around 316. SMA is acting at resistance right here at about 316, 317. I would see that as a very nice swing trade, and that offers a potential for profit of roughly, we're looking at 8%. So again, that is why I do see a ton of value. These companies that I'm looking at today all really fit all the criteria that I love. And so I'm not showing you ones that I'm kind of like on today. I'm showing you ones that I really honestly am either already invested in or plan on getting into because of the massive sell-off it's had from highs up here of about $89 down to its current position price of right here at about 33. The reason I'm buying in on this is a massive dip buy. If you want to come down here and look at the RSI indicator on overstock.com, it is at its RSI of about 25. Well, if you look at it right here, when was the last time it was down in that range? Well, actually, I don't know if I want to, yeah, let's do this. We're going to zoom in on this chart pattern here. Last time the RSI indicator was down this low, it was at about a 22-ish. It was trading up here at about $32 a share, right? Let's rewind time a little bit more and go, okay, when else was it trading down here at that low of an RSI, right there around 25, 24? Oh, it was right in here. So a little bit higher, or actually I take that back. It had a nice massive dip. That's why it did it. So it was trading right here at about 33.87, $34, I guess you want to say. And then again, when it had another massive dip, it came down here to roughly support, where you could call this support, right here at about 34.44. I could even draw another support line, quite honestly, guys, right through here. So if we if we wanted to draw support right through here, and right there, boom. You can see where this is kind of acting as a little support. So it had a nice little sell-off down here to about 32.80. Even if you ride that up, you're looking at about 4% right here. If you ride it up to the SMA, you're looking at about a return of 10 to 11%. The reason why I bought this right in aftermarket hours. I think I only put in like 4,000 or 5,000 into this position. But I'm looking at previous lows. I'm seeing support right here. I'm seeing support right here. And I'm seeing an RSI way oversold. So this is why I got into Overstock.com. I don't plan on holding this one long term. Although, like I said, I love this chart pattern because I do see the potential for a return up into this little price point right here at about $50. I think that it can come back up there, and that is a massive return. I mean, from here to 50, I mean, you're looking at freaking 37, 38%. But in terms of a short-term swing trade, I like Overstock.com for the fact that the RSI indicator down here, Overstock.com, again, is another one that I'm currently in. Not a massive position because I have my money diversified mainly in OLED right now. L Brands has about a $28,000 position as well. And Libre Mercado, I think, is about 20,000. OLED is about a $20,000 position as well. Next one we're going to go to is going to be, let's actually talk about Tesla. So Tesla is one that does not necessarily support my theories in this. The reason why I do not really like Tesla normally because of how overextended it was. This is why I'm getting into Tesla where it is currently trading at in terms of my chart pattern though. So if you want to even start your trend line all the way back here, now this is why I love using time as a good indicator, right? Time is a great indicator for anything because it helps you understand what the future will do. Taking a look at this Tesla chart pattern, this is why I see it as a good buy. There's a couple reasons. I'm going to go over them right now with you. First reason is it recently had this massive sell-off of approximately from highs of about 10%. 10%. It went on this massive run here over the past month or so, starting down here at support of about 277 and had this massive bull run, a multi-billion-dollar company that went up 34% over the course of a month or two, basically a month. RSI being so oversold. I wanted to also go over the fact that this has acted as resistance in the past. Old resistance can become new support. You can also see right here where this had trended and became good resistance before it sold back or trended back up here to about the $257 price point. You can also see where, again, it had some consolidation here, as well as here. This acted as resistance where then it had a nice little sell-off. So you can see this trend line right here for Tesla being an awesome sign of a good support where it could continue that uptrend pattern again. So besides the chart patterns, besides the fact that it's oversold, I want to really briefly touch on the simple fact with you that Tesla has some news that has come out and why I am fairly interested in them. So the reason why I wanted to talk about Tesla and why I am actually going to take more likely than not a fairly large position in Tesla is because of the fact that Elon Musk has went on Twitter recently stating that anyone that is shorting Tesla right now should cover their short position within 3 weeks or be prepared for it to explode. Explode, you guys. So Elon Musk is a crazy CEO. We already know that. He's a very eccentric guy. He is a multi-billionaire and has been very successful in previous companies that he has run and started, PayPal, for example. Elon is one of those guys that is not your traditional CEO, but he has made these claims about shorts in the past. And I'm going to be honest with you, he's been right every single time that he has said something about shorts. Tesla is one of those companies that I do personally see long-term value in. I'm going to, full disclosure, I have a Model 3 that should be here between July and September that I ordered back in like January 2017. I am a big Tesla fan, but I also don't believe in investing in a company that I don't see value in. I've had some struggles with Tesla and seeing them be profitable. The other reason why I'm purchasing these share prices right now, or shares right now at this price, is because I do think in the next couple of weeks, just as Elon had mentioned, we are going to see an uptrend pattern and we might actually be seeing Tesla hit new highs of $400. Now, I don't want to sound like that crazy bull that's just like buy, because you got to go off the charts. You got to go off the technical analysis. If you're not doing that, you're risking too much. But there's multiple things, like I said. The fact that Elon has already came out saying that Tesla is going to be going quite high in the next 3 weeks, I wanted to do some research. The research I saw in Tesla, and the reason why I tend to believe that Elon is correct, is because right around July 6th, Tesla is going to be releasing reports about the Model 3 and their goal of trying to hit 5,000 cars in a month. Now, do I think Tesla's, or not in a month, 5,000 Model 3s per week. Now, do I believe that Tesla is going to hit these goals? No, but do I think Tesla is going to be a lot closer to these numbers than what previous analysts have expected? I do, and so I do not see that causing another sell-off. I think people are going to be more happy that Tesla is even one step closer to profitability. The fact that this company can trade at the forward PE that it trades at and have this kind of growth in price per share without being profitable, I can't even begin to fathom what it will be like when Tesla is actually profitable, what this company will be valued at. Man, I'm so off today. What it will be valued at. So these are the reasons why I believe Tesla is going to be a great buy, why I think it's a great long-term hold, but why I also, if I really did want to swing this, why I could see swinging it and making a nice little 10% trade. So that's kind of my rant on Tesla and why I believe it is a great opportunity right now to potentially buy a nice little dip right now on Tesla. I am going to hold it until that July 6th, July 10th kind of earnings time, or when they're going to report those numbers on the Model 3 and see what happens. But until then, like I said, I am going to be really heavily focused on Tesla right now. So Tesla's a big one. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm getting text messages. Next one we're going to talk about is a new position that I'm getting into, or have already gotten into in one of my smaller accounts, and that is going to be Toll Brothers. Now, a lot of you probably have not heard of Toll Brothers because I have not really mentioned Toll Brothers too much on my channel here. Toll Brothers, though, is a house. It's a house developer or house builder that specializes in high-end houses. Most homes, probably around America are probably in the $250,000 price range. I'd say probably average household is $250,000. The average Toll Brothers home sells for anywhere between $850,000 to $900,000. So Toll Brothers homes are a lot more expensive. Now, if you look at Toll Brothers in terms of a swing trade and just looked at this chart analysis, you'd go, well, hell, it just keeps trending down. It doesn't look good at all. Like, I mean, if you were to draw lines camera in it and you were to like draw, just to chart this pattern here, it's a descending pattern. It doesn't look good. Toll Brothers is going to be a long-term hold. One of the things with Toll Brothers, and this is why I always stress to so many of you that you need to be looking at the financials of these companies. Toll Brothers sold all of their homes in their neighborhoods that they were building, and they recently have just reloaded and are rebuilding and doing more homes. If you do take a look at the chart, and I don't know if I can go further out than the 180 day. Actually, I might be able to. Okay, here is the year mark. This is the year for Toll Brothers here. So if you do see right down here, it has previously within the past year hit lows of, man, my mouse is crap. Lows of roughly, there we go, somewhere in there. Lows of roughly about 37.11. Where is it currently trading at? Well, let's go back to our normal 180-day analysis of Toll Brothers and take a look. Go back to the 180-day analysis, and we are trading at about 36.80 right now. So, 52 weeks, it's at its 52-week low. Financials, look into this. Do not trade Toll Brothers based on my opinion, but if you are looking to do a long-term trade, I highly recommend getting into Toll Brothers at this forward PE that it's offering. Toll Brothers is trading at a forward PE right now of about 7.5. Toll Brothers should be trading at probably a forward PE of somewhere around 10, 10.5, maybe even 11. Toll Brothers to me is way oversold for the value that this company has. The houses are really nice homes. I would encourage you to look into some of their financials. But in terms of that 52-week low being right here at the same spot, I see Toll Brothers being a great potential buy right now and being able to hold this long term. I'm going to hold this for probably the next couple years. So this is not a swing trade necessarily, but even at a swing trade, even if you are looking to swing trade this, I mean, come on, it's at a 52-week low. Should it at least have a bounce probably somewhere right into here and offer a nice little 5 to 5.5% potential for return? Sure, in a short period of time, because right now it is at support. So Toll Brothers, I really do see a lot of great value in this. This is one that I will be getting into more. Like I said, in one of my smaller accounts, I'm in it. I think I probably have about 8% of my portfolio in that account I have in Toll Brothers right now, and I'm going to probably add in a little bit more. So Toll Brothers is a great one. Next one, we are going to talk about online retailers are only going to get more and more popular as 2019 rolls around, 2020, 2021. And who's going to ship all these packages, guys? It's going to be UPS, FedEx, USPS obviously as well. It's hard to get into this space in shipping packages because of the overall cost that it has to actually ship packages. If you look here right now at the chart patterns, I would say I noticed a nice little line of support right here. Now if we draw this over, chart patterns, if I can bring this up, boom. Support. So again, why would I look at buying into FedEx right now if I'm looking for either a long-term position or a swing trade position? Well, let's go down to our RSI, or Relative Strength Index. This is where I see a ton of value. How sold off and how overly sold off is this right now? A 19 RSI, guys. 19. That is, woo! That is a low RSI right now. It should be looking for a nice bounce. So if you're looking for a short swing trade or potentially even a day trade, I mean, could you really go wrong with hopping into FedEx right now? No, I really don't believe so. It had some earnings issues, had some sell-off, had some issues right here. But where you can see it has had support through this line here as well before at about the $240, $241 price point. So as you can see, it touched here several times, touched here again, touched here. You saw a ton of consolidation through here. Then you saw it touch here again. More touching, more touching, more consolidation. I mean, this is a well-known line of support and resistance for FedEx. RSI indicator being so low, I really do see this as a great opportunity. If you do end up swinging this, let's say you do end up swinging it potentially up into this little range here, you're looking at, again, another 5% return. If you look to find it where it was trending up and get it up into this price point, you're looking at, again, about an 8% return. It does pay, I believe, a small dividend as well. I see FedEx as, again, a long-term position that I would like to be in, as well as a good swing trade position to be in. So I see making a good amount of money in the short term on FedEx. If I see a better longer term position, maybe I will sell out of my FedEx shares and wait for it to drop down again if it has some consolidation issues, and then rebuy back in. But in terms of a long term position, I see I see FedEx as a good long term buy, and would highly recommend it. Another one that I have been in my smaller account as well as my larger account has been CPE. Calian Petroleum. As you can see, it's had a lot of consolidation through here. I ended up buying right here at about the $10, $13 price range-ish, somewhere in there, and ended up selling out when it hit support right up here. Actually, I think I bought in lower, honestly and truly, because I made 6% on this. So I probably bought in somewhere down here, I don't know, and ended up selling out. I'm still holding this in one of my smaller accounts here. Chart pattern looks really great. RSI, yes, is maybe coming up on maybe a little bit higher than what I would like to be in. And so in terms of recommending buying into this right now, I don't recommend it. Where I would see getting back into this in terms of a longer position is probably somewhere right up here. And why would I do that again? Look at the support. Look at the support. Look at the resistance. So I see this as a good trade because of the fact that through here, once it breaks that $11 account, it's up like 8 or 9%. It's done pretty dang well, because I think that account I got in somewhere right down in here. And so yeah, I'm up like probably about 9% in that, which is pretty nasty in a week. Pretty happy with that position. Never took a position in JNUG. I wanted to go over a position from last week that I did not get into, and that was JNUG. So if you followed my channel last week and watched last week's Stock Pick Sunday, you probably noticed that I was talking about getting into JNUG. I think I talked about it right here. As you could see, it ended up having a sell-off. Now, if you would have bought in right here, would have been a flippin' great trade, because you would have made a nice solid 6% on this. But again, like I said, I didn't see value in this. With the markets being down in general, I saw more of a value in some of those other positions that I got in. I think I probably spent over 60 or 70,000 last week in buying new shares and new positions. So JNUG, I just did not see the value in it. And once it sold off here, I was involved in a lot of my other larger positions and didn't pay attention to JNUG. If you did get into JNUG down here, please comment on there. I'm curious if anyone got into JNUG on that on my call from last week. But anyway, JNUG I did not get into. I wouldn't recommend getting into it either right now. Cirrus Logic was another one that I had a call out from last week. CRUS. It did have a little bit of a sell-off. I believe I'm still in this long term. Nope, it really didn't. So if you look at this pattern a little bit closer, yeah, maybe a little bit of a sell-off. I'm telling you, it's kind of pretty much right here at support. It's a good little support position. Where do I see it potentially trending up to? Probably somewhere right in here. So let's do this. Where do I see potential value in this? If we're able to trade it from right here and you're just wanting to swing trade this, I could see it going up somewhere in this range here. So again, a nice little 5.56, 6% potential for profit in Cirrus Logic if you're looking to do it as a swing trade. I do think it's trading down low. RSI is not where I would necessarily want to be, and I think I'm offering a few more other plays that are probably a little bit better buys right now than Cirrus Logic, because of the fact that the RSI is right here at about a 44. If it did drop down into this territory, you can see where the RSI really did tank. But what I would say with this is I see long-term value. I'm holding Cirrus Logic for probably the next 3 years, so I'm not looking to really swing trade that much. But if you are looking for a swing trade, that's another one that I know a lot about and I'm very interested in. Last one. So this is going to be, and I want to talk to you really quick before I get into this position here. So last position that I'm going to talk to you about really briefly is going to be Caterpillar. Caterpillar and Tesla are going to be my two main plays for this week. I am like a kid in a candy store right now. Caterpillar is one that I'm like more stoked on. I don't know why. It's only 8% that I can really see a good potential for profit in it. But it matched up with all my criteria that I normally have in terms of like what I like to see in terms of buying a company and like really consistent patterns and like me feeling like, man, this position is going to be like so big, like so big, like it's going to be great. It feels like that. Now, with that being said, I don't want you to trade based on my opinions. Don't get into this stock unless you look at the 10Ks, you look at the 10Qs, you look at the financials on this. That's the problem with a lot of people, is they get into these things and they don't read, they don't understand this. But I'm going to give you my personal opinion, why I believe it's going to be good, where I have a stop loss on it, and you can decide what you want to do. So that's all I wanted to say with this right now. Let's get into Caterpillar really quick. So sorry I'm so pumped and stoked about Caterpillar right now. But we're going to minimize this. I'm like ridiculous right now. Get into a big old cat. And I actually day traded this on Friday and made like 500 bucks, sold out, and then rebought back in. Just to freaking stomp some haters that thought that I should not be getting into this. So right here, I am going to draw another support line or resistance line. Why on earth would I draw this line right here, huh? Oh, well, okay, it looks like right here. Oh yeah, right here it touched. Oh yeah, it looks like right here there's some consolidation. Oh yeah, look, wait, it did have a sell-off right here as well, and then it came back up. Okay, wait, right. Oh yeah, there's some consolidation. It sold off really low to about 137. Oh, and then it came back up. Okay. Oh wait, it did sell off again, and it's down here. Where do you think it's gonna? What do you think is gonna happen at this point? Where do you think it's gonna? What do you think it's gonna do? I know I'm kind of being an a-hole about this, but when someone like told me they didn't believe in this position, I was kind of like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, okay, you know, just like whatever. But like, look at this. Like, look at that. Actually, wasn't the best line. I don't think I wanted to do that one right there. Remove drawing. Okay, right here. There it was. Okay, like, I mean, I'm not like an expert necessarily, but like, guys, does the chart pattern get any better than that? I mean, comment on there. Like, am I crazy? Am I crazy? Do you guys think I'm crazy with this? The chart pattern to me looks pretty good. Like, there's so much support bouncing right here, and so much history of it returning up and coming back up. Like a solid 8, 11, that's like 12%. If you write it all the way up to here, like you're looking at 13%. I was just writing it up to the SMA and looking at about a 7 to 8% return on that. Do you think I'm crazy? Like, please, like, I'm curious your opinions on Caterpillar, but I'm telling you, I see multiple times. It has a very classic pattern on this. I love the fact that it's a good company. It has good financials. Is the PE a little bit higher than what I like? Yeah, it's trading at a 36 or something like that. I don't love that. But are they a company that's going to be around in 10 years? So if this swing trade doesn't work out, yes. Are they going to be relevant in 10 years? Yes. Is the world growing and getting ever bigger? Yes. The reason they had the big sell-off is because of the trade war. The sell-off is because they've had a lot of issues because they sell a ton of tractors to the Chinese. And with the trade war issues, it's caused a nice little sell-off. Again, RSI indicator on this. It's trading right now at a 28. Prime money. Would love to buy this right in here. I'm currently in this position between all my accounts. I'll just tell you one account. I'm not going to tell you how much I'm in everything. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know. One account, though, I'm in this about 28, 29,000. I could be in it bigger. With all my other accounts, I'm definitely in it way bigger than that. But I do see a lot of value in this. It just matches every single MO that I want. It just totally matches every pattern that I like. I could hold this forever and I could see it go up. I'm not worried about the time on this. The only thing I would hate is if time on my investment, if I was in it for a long time and it wasn't doing anything, I would hate that I was wasting my time in something and not being able to get a return on something else. That is an issue you could face. But I love that it's a good company that I believe in. I don't believe that they're going to be out of business or having less of a market share 10 years from now. They have a really great backing. They have good 10Ks, their 10Qs. Everything is just beautiful in Caterpillar. So this is my big position for this week, and I am going to continue in that one. If anyone has anything else to say, let's see. David, you say that it's got pretty strong support. I love that. I'm glad that you can agree with me and that maybe you see that. If you do see anything different, you know, always feel free you can always have a contradicting opinion. I'm not going to argue with you on here. I'll just take your opinion and go, you know, hey, maybe that's true. I like that Allison is saying trade wars always sell off for no reason. Very true. We saw back several months back when we had some trade war issues as well. That's actually when this had this sell off as well. So trade war issues come and go. Last year, if you remember, North Korea was the big, there's going to be a nuclear war with North Korea. Like, that was the scare on Wall Street, guys. That was what was the big tumultuous thing. Even the beginning of this year, like end of last year, beginning of this year, it's gone. Like, it's squashed. I'm doing it. But I think this trade war crap is just that. It's crap. So anyway, these are my picks. Those are going to be my picks for this week. I know, let's see, I know you guys wanted me to do a couple call outs, correct? I think we wanted to go over MU and we also were going to go over Activision. Only question Allison has is I have question for the moving averages on CAT. So if you want to look at the moving averages, you have your SMA and the EMA. The one thing I don't love is obviously that it's still in that downtrend pattern. If you wanted to be conservative in CAT, what I would recommend doing on here is waiting for it to trend above your EMA line. That would be basically, I mean, you'd only lose about a 1.32% on that. I do think, 142 is probably a good buy-in point. This is just really oversold, and you can tell that from the RSI indicator, so that's why I like dip buying this if you're day trading or swing trading it. But if you really want to be a conservative investor, would I say maybe buy above the EMA and trade up to the SMA and do a sell-off right there and take 6%? Sure. If you really want to be conservative, that would be a good play. Allison on there. I think it's probably Nick. I don't think Allison probably watches this, but anyway. I'm trying to think of what else. The one other thing with this that I have in terms of where I would potentially sell out of this, I would look to probably sell out again if it got down here into the $136 range. I would just probably go, you know what, it's time to cut my losses and take my cut on that. So that's my plan for it. Maybe even 137, honestly. Yeah. I'd say probably 137, unless it was intraday, and it did a bounce intraday and then it started trending up. That's where I'd probably get out. But if you want to know my exit strategy, I think my mental stop loss is at 137. I think my brother has like a stop loss in his account at 135, just like a hard stop loss on it. But my mental stop loss is 137 if you wanted to know that. Now, let's move into Activision. So, AC, what is the ticker symbol again? ATVI. I want to say it's Activision Blizzard. Yes, it is. Okay, so if we take a look at Activision, I'm going to draw a couple support lines here just for kicks and giggles, even though it might not be relevant to where it's trading at. But let's see. We're going to look at support right there. I see support. Right here, I see support as well. And then you can also see through this little ascending pattern here. Yeah, there we go. Ascending pattern. Take it right here. So you can see this kind of shoot here that we have going on here. So if I'm looking at Activision, I'm noticing that it's coming up on highs, right? It's coming up on some of its all-time highs over recent trends. I'm going to take an old previous high right here and see consolidation that's happened throughout here on its way to that peak. I like Activision Blizzard long-term as well because of what they've been doing in the gaming industry. I'm not a big gamer, honestly and truly. I don't ever play video games. But in terms of, I think, being a good, solid gaming company, I think they have a lot of great titles. I think they have a lot of good outlook because video games are only going to continue to get more popular, especially worldwide. And so I think more and more kids are going to be playing them. So I see support right through here at that kind of previous high where you can also see this has kind of gotten into that little channel pattern before it had this recent run up here. You can see that it's come off of this recent high down here about 3.51%. In terms of where I would see looking for a bounce, I would look for maybe a bounce right in this area. The reason why I would look right in here is because not only did it bounce in there, it's, yeah. You can see where it touched right here. You can see where then it also kind of has this consolidation right here. And it would not break this channel pattern. So if I was looking at a good entry point into Activision after this recent little runoff, I would look for a buy somewhere, like right in, yeah, I'd look for maybe somewhere right in here, kind of where it's at. I mean, honestly and truly, I would love for it to come down and touch right in here. As you can see, some of these days it actually has. You can see where those candles, those wicks got super, super close. So in terms of buying, you know, down here at that 75.38, that's not a bad spot to potentially get into Activision. Activision is just, it's recently so high up, and I don't follow it nearly enough that I don't know if I would personally get into it with all the positions that I'm in. But do I see the potential for maybe some more run up? Sure. If it were to break this channel pattern, I'd look to get out because of the fact that you could see a runoff of about 3%. You see about a 3.45% loss on that. Potential for gain if you were to buy right in here. I mean, you're also looking at about a 3.44%. So this is my thing. It's a 1-to-1 ratio in terms of what my profit, my max profit would be and what my max loss would be. I don't like those positions for swing trades because I like positions that offer me maybe like an 8 to 12% return with a downside of maybe 4%. So it would take me like 2, 3 losses in a similar scenario in order to equal 1 gain that I would have if I was trading that similar stock. So I do it as kind of a risk analysis on there. So for me, unfortunately, like with it being a 3.5% potential for return and a 3.5% potential for a loss if it dropped out, I guess you don't have a potential for loss there. I mean, your potential for loss could basically be like, what if you sold out right there and you bought right in, you know, let's say here, maybe your loss is 1%, so you have a 30, it'd be like a 3x on there. Your return would be probably about a 3% return, right? Or sorry, a 3 times that reward would be greater than what your loss was. I can't believe I made no sense there. But that's what I see with Activision. I do see this trend pattern here with the RSI. It consistently has trended through this little area. If you can get it down here where you're buying at the RSI of probably about a 40, it's hard to get it that low where you're getting into like the oversold category because Activision has been so great this past year or half a year. But I mean, honestly and truly, if you bought here at a 44, it's not bad. If you could buy even closer to that 40 RSI, that's where I would look to get in on Activision Blizzard. So that's my opinion on Activision Blizzard. MU or Micron. So Micron, guys, if you got into Micron back here, you were sitting pretty. I mean, even up to its highs, you're looking at 30%. I mean, if you're looking at even the recent sell-off, you're looking at a 14% gain. I didn't see value in this, and here I was charting this back here, you know, like I was charting it a while ago. And honestly and truly, like, man, that's a big gain. Like, it's a big gainer, you know. I mean, 53%. I mean, even to highs of 64, you're looking at a 60% return on this. That is huge. The reason what I wanted to do and what I thought about touching on this is look for the SMA, David, in terms of support. I think this is honestly and truly a great buy right now if you're wanting to get into it because of where's a good support. I see a good support. Well, I don't want to put it in here because there's not really a support in here. But if you look through here, you can kind of see support right in there. But I can see on this little chart right here, I can see a nice support line. And so it's hitting support. I mean, right here, support, or it touched, it broke through. Right here, you see support, came back up, sold off, support, came back up, sold off. And then it should be hitting support, and it looks to be a nice potential return of 8.5, 8.3%. So if I'm looking at this, David, and I go, you know, what do I think in terms of charting? I think Micron is a great buy just looking at the chart pattern. I like that your SMA is going to be acting as support as well. It should be causing this to obviously start uptrending with that massive sell-off as well, bring it back to support. That's another great sign. Third thing that I want to talk about is, like I said, we already talked about RSI, but I wanted to talk about the recent news on Micron. Just generated so much revenue and done so well recently. This last earnings report and this last information that came out on Micron really, for me, kind of solidified Micron as a big player in the data, what's their actual business? I'm like drawing a blank right now. like it's not semiconductors. I think it is semiconductors. So like in their semiconductor business, Micron has really, or is it it's like storage. I can't even remember right now. That's how crazy of a day it's been. But they have really solidified their numbers. I think a lot of the risk was just taken out of Micron. For me personally, in terms of a long-term trade on them, I like the fact that, you know, I do see them really continuing to uptrend and solidify these numbers going into 2019 and 2020. The only thing that I think could hurt this catalyst or hurt this run right now, this bull run on Micron, is if for some reason the industry had this massive sell-off and the prices of like the memory got a lot cheaper. I think they focus on RAM and that kind of stuff, if I remember right. Maybe you can help me out, David. But that's basically my opinion on Micron. I think it actually is a great opportunity. I think it's a great buy. I think, what were you saying here? I've been in Micron for a while, just added a lot more to my position after earnings. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I honestly and truly, if you're a bull long term on it, I think that's a great opportunity. Or a great company to be in based on what I've read and what I've seen. And like I said, if you're looking to get into it on a swing trade, anyone that's watching this video, I think it offers, I like swing trades where they offer a good potential for value long term. Because if this does have a sell-off, you know, down into this range and you didn't cover, let's say you just lost 6%, I still think it could trend up and I would just buy a little bit more, find support again, and buy more, and then, you know, keep it coming up. But in terms of a nice little swing trade, I do see this week being able to start uptrending and start coming up here in a week's time. I think you could easily make 4 to 5% on it. Couple weeks time, I think you could easily on this, you know, make at least 8.5, and if not, continue to see this trending up. So Micron, I mean, David, I think you think you got a winner right here, so I appreciate you sharing that with us. Guys, I think that's everything. This was actually probably one of the longest Sunday Stock Talk videos that I think I've ever done. I really wanted to go into depth and go into detail on these positions because with the market sell-off, there is a lot of good buying opportunities. I think there's a lot of good opportunities. If you see any of those positions that I took and you maybe disagree, I'd love to hear your reason and what you think would be a potential, you know, I guess Debbie Downer for it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, you guys. Please leave me comments. I'd love to respond to them. I love to interact more with y'all. And hopefully I can get these camera settings worked out and I can really get this setup going and create more content intra-week. Once I'm done selling as hard, I mean, I'm really working very, very long hours right now. And so it is harder to make YouTube videos and do everything while working 6 days a week. But I should be able to, when I back off of that a little bit more, be able to put out more content. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. Have a great day, and thanks for tuning into Young Money Investments. Bye.